Hi, everybody. My name is Sean Lin. I'm one of the co-directors of HASTAC Scholars. HASTAC stands for Humanities, Arts, Science, and Technology Alliance and Collaboratory. It's a network of humanists, artists, social scientists, and technologists changing the way we teach and learn. The following video is a brief overview of ways that you can get connected to some of our work at HASTAC and connect with some of our scholars. I hope you enjoy it.
Remind you of some of the ways that you can actually participate in Haystack Scholars right now. So there, I want to encourage you all that your introductory blog post does not have to be perfect. Literally, it could be a paragraph, it could be a full page, it shouldn't be a dissertation, but it should be something that's really short to the point, just introducing yourself to the Haystack community. You can talk about your comfort food, you can talk about what school you're currently attending, what your research interests are, what drew you to pursuing a PhD. There's really no limit or no parameters about what you can talk about, but we would like you all to just post a simple introductory blog post, just saying who you are and maybe why you joined Haystack, or not even saying that. You can put in whatever you want inside of your introductory blog post. Some people in the past have included inside of their introductory blog post a photo of themselves or a piece of artwork. You can do that or you cannot do that. It's really up to you. Haystack is a community that is very, very collaborative. We really just work with you and what you want to do, and we try to be as supportive as possible. Basically, each year, sometimes twice a year actually, we review and discuss a book by a scholar that's usually related to higher education in some sort of way, but it doesn't always have to be. So this year, we are actually reviewing a book by Katina Rogers. It's called Putting the Humanities PhD to Work. So if you're interested in joining this collaborative book discussion, it's really, really simple. The scholars will receive a ebook version of the book. They identify what chapter they might want to review. Scholars will receive an ebook copy of the book, and basically they select the chapter that they want to review or discuss. We use the term review very lightly, but really it's just a discussion about what they read. And then we have a peer system where you're matched with another scholar who will give you feedback about what you wrote and maybe how it could be improved. And then we sort of put all of the discussion items, so various essays or various pieces that the scholars share. We sort of make a collection that we publish. So, and we did this last year. It was a great discussion. We did it the first time where we discussed a book by Professor Jacqueline Wernemont, and it was a collaborative discussion on numbered lives. So numbered lives, life and death, and quantum medium. It was a really great discussion. You could see there that we had a number of scholars who participated. They all wrote review essays or discussion essays. So I welcome you all to participate inside of the collaborative book discussion. And I also want to say that the last time we did this, we reviewed a book called Franchise by Dr. Marcia. I might be butchering her last name, so I apologize, but Dr. Marcia Chatelain. So she's part of our steering committee. And you can see here that all the scholars basically posted that we did. This is the book of his franchise, The Golden Arches in Black America. And you see here that each scholar, they basically wrote a piece about a chapter that they did. We had 3 scholars actually do the interview, and it was a really, really great experience by all the scholars who participated in it. So I invite you to, if you're thinking about maybe doing the collaborative book discussion, you're a little bit on the fence, just check out this page right here. This is on the website, and read about some of the reviews and discussion pieces that some of the other scholars have written.
Hi, my name is Lisa Covington. I
Hi,
was, or
Lisa.
I'm still a scholar here in this community, and I was able to interview the author of Franchise that we were just talking about, and it was a really good experience. It wasn't too labor intensive. We did it via email, and all 3 of us had questions, posted it in a Google document, and shared all of that with the community. And so I also did a blog post on it, and it was very simple. It was actually a break from dissertating.
For Digital Fridays, we invite the scholars basically to host a 30 to 60-minute webinar, if you will, where you discuss your research, you could discuss your pedagogy, you could discuss a number of things that might be important to you. So we have a sign-up sheet for that. Usually the Digital Fridays are recorded with the permission of the scholar. Of course, I think we've only had maybe 1 or 2 times where a scholar doesn't want it to be recorded, but we encourage the scholars to allow us to record the Digital Fridays so that scholars can basically tune in later at their own convenience to see what was missed. It could be about your research. It could be about a number of things. What I remind scholars oftentimes is if this is their first time sort of doing a presentation, this is great practice, right? If you have a conference coming up and maybe you want to run your presentation by a smaller group, you can do that. If you are an instructor and you teach a class that you know really, really well, you can do a Digital Friday all about that topic.
I've done a Digital Friday last spring, and I highly recommend that anyone who's interested and wants to test out theories, want to have conversation about their research interests, definitely do it, largely in part because it gives you that experience that you may not have had already. And it also allows you to sharpen your tool with other people in the room and how to have those conversations. So if you're thinking about it, go for it.
Is we have launched something called Scholar Spotlight. And this is a really great project where scholars have an opportunity to basically share who they are. It's a little bit more detailed than just doing a regular introductory blog post. So I'm going to check Scholar Spotlight, yes. Okay, so the way the Scholar Spotlight works is that scholars sign up each month. Usually we have 2 or 3 each month who sign up to basically put the spotlight on the scholar. And the scholars answer these 10 questions. We're going to update the questions slightly to add 1 question related to COVID-19. And the scholars basically put their answers, they share a photo of themselves. You can basically see, this is how it looks. So I'll just go to this one, for example. This is Martin. So Martin was one of our Scholar Spotlights back in March, and he basically answers the 10 questions here. And then I think we do a 10th question about what's something that we should ask you. So basically you're creating your own question. So we invite you all, if you want to sign up for a Scholar Spotlight, it's a great opportunity to get your name out there, to show people what you're researching, what your interests are. And the sign-up sheet is also inside of the welcome letter. So I will send out reminders for all of this once again, because I know that sometimes when I see emails, they get lost in the shuffle after about 2 weeks. So it's really helpful for me to just get a refresh email of some things that I could sign up for. You could also go to our website as well. So I want to invite you to sign up for the Scholar Spotlight. And usually, again, we do 1 or 2 scholars per month. So sign up if you're interested in nominating yourself, or if you're interested in nominating another scholar who you think would be great for this, let us know.
Of course. So hi everyone, I'm Colleen. So I'm managing the Twitter account, and so this year we thought that it would be nice to also have kind of a Twitter spotlight. So the format would be very different, of course, from the spotlight on HASTAC Scholars. Shorter format, more adapted to Twitter, and you could during a week we could together introduce yourself, like what your research is, but also some maybe more strategic details, like how you organize to do your research, what kind of methods or epistemologies you use, if you have tips to share, alternative media. So we would have approximately 1 tweet a day about those different things, and it would be a nice way to kind of open discussion about alternative or not, but methods, strategies, tips, also kind of having support and exchange about those elements that are very important also. So if you're interested, I think there's also a sign-up sheet somewhere. And we could imagine having 1 or 2 people being in charge every month. So it would be 1 week for each person, with approximately a tweet a day, so not that much. And I would, of course, help to structure that.
Right. And I think that this is a really great opportunity because our HASTAC Scholars Twitter page has almost 5,000 followers. Our larger HASTAC website has several more, of course, but by being basically a guest host of our Twitter account, this is a great way, again, to get your name out there. So as you might be able to tell, there's a running trend here for HASTAC Scholars, and that we want you to be doing public facing work as much as possible to talk about your research. We want it to be as collaborative as possible. So we're always looking for opportunities to make sure our scholars can basically share what it is that they're doing at their institutions.